Okay, hi everybody. So make sure that you're comfortable. You can be seated or you can lay down. Sometimes laying down whenever there's sound involved is really nice. Um, if you can have headphones in, that also makes the sound better. If you're seated, try and elevate your hips above your knees so you can sit on a couple of pillows, or if you have a block, like a yoga block, you can sit on top of that, elevating your hips above your knees. As I've said before, you might already know, you might not, will alleviate some of this unnecessary gripping and tension that a lot of people hold in their psoas and their hip flexors. And if your psoas muscle is tight, then more than likely the rest of your body will have some sort of unnecessary tension in it. The psoas is kind of the safety, so if it's loose, then if it feels safe enough to be loose, then the rest of your body will kind of take its cue from that. If you're laying down, you can roll a blanket or even throw a pillow underneath your knees, again, to soften your hip flexor here. You want it to feel like kind of supple, like you can kind of press into it without it feeling like hard, like the heel of your hand is a little hard. This week, I wanted to look at fear and releasing fear, and basically in doing that, taking your power back. Which, by the way, you've always had all of your power. It's inside of you. So that's another thing. We have everything we need all the time, right? Including our power. We just sometimes keep it locked away, and the appearance of not having choices, and the fear that comes with that kind of shrouds our ability to see that we have our power, and therefore we have many choices, even if it doesn't seem like it or feel like it in the moment. So if everybody could find yourself in a comfortable position, and go ahead and soften your gaze or close your eyes. Closing these eyes that we have to see the outer world so that we can open the eye to the inner world. And with this eye to the inner world open, I want you to scan your body. Taking a sort of mental snapshot of where you are this morning, or in this moment, whatever time it is for you. And not judging it, but just noticing where you are. Noticing anything that you might be feeling. Any sensations in your body. Noticing the state of your mind. If it is chattering already, noticing the quality of your thoughts. Not attaching to your thoughts, just allowing them to come as they do. Just noticing. And as you notice, and as you take this snapshot, just go ahead and tuck that away, maybe in your back pocket. Maybe you set it on the countertop next to you. And from here, we're going to breathe together now that we have a connection to our inner world. You're going to take a really deep breath, filling yourself up into your belly, into your rib cage, into your chest. And then you're going to just let it all out. Again, filling yourself up nice and full into your belly, into your rib cage, into your chest. And then just let it all out. One more breath like that into your belly, into your rib cage, into your chest. And then letting it all out. You can make any movements that you feel are necessary as we begin to settle further into this meditation today. Allow yourself to use the breath as a recentering agent. If you find that you float away with your thoughts, that's okay. Come back to the breath. Come back to the sound of my voice. Come back to the sound of the singing bowls. I'd like you to imagine that there is honey being poured on you. It's a little warm, so it feels more comfortable. It's being poured on you from the top of your head first. You know, honey is thick and viscous. This honey, as I said, is a little warm. Honey has a weight to it. It's a little heavy. It's a little sticky. So the honey is starting to slowly come down your head. So it's dripping forward, softening your forehead. It's softening your eyebrows and that space in between your eyebrows. Softening your eye sockets and your eyes within them. Softening the back of your head, your ears, and softening your cheeks and your jaw, your mouth, as it moves further down. It's softening your neck, the front, the back, all sides. Moving further down, it's softening your shoulders, you're feeling that the honey is moving from a smaller section, your head, to a larger section, your torso. Which means it can spend a little bit more time here on your shoulders and your chest. Slowly, steadily, you begin to feel the weight of the honey as it moves down your chest, down your back, maybe this is the first time that you start to really feel the weight of it. The weight of the honey, like a sweet hug. The comfort of a thicker boundary than our skin. It moves down your arms, taking its time, allowing gravity to do the work. Allowing the honey to do the work. You feel it now moving across your wrists into your hands. It weights your hands, you feel it pooling in the palm of your hand. It weights your fingers open. So your hands are in an open, receptive space. And as it's moved down your arms and weighted them, it's also continued to move down your torso. It moves down your rib cage. Down your belly. moves down into your pelvis and your back, your lower back. It's softening all these areas as it covers you. It's softening your hips, those hip flexors. The hip flexors that hold tension for our protection. But in this moment, we are safe. So they can relax. So you can be here now. The honey continues to move slowly down your legs. Softening those large muscles that keep us upright, that keep us moving. Down the front and backs of the thighs. The honey reaches your knees and softens your knees, finding its way into every little crevice. Down the fronts of your shins, the backs of your calves, finding itself around your ankles, finally flowing over the tops and soles of your feet, over your toes, until finally you are fully covered in honey. And you are fully softened by honey. Honey moves slowly, so you're also allowing the honey to slow you down. There's no rush, there's only now. Sometimes fear comes up when we are in such a rush to figure something out that we don't see that there are more than one or two options available to us. In those moments, we feel powerless. And that's okay. But the idea is to be able to acknowledge when we are in these moments and remember that that is not the truth. The The truth is, we have our power inside of us all the time. And our power lies in our ability to see that there are actually infinite options. Now, sometimes that can create more fear because you can create anything, you can do anything. So, one of my teachers offered this thought: what is the third option? If you can just find 3 options within a circumstance, you begin to practice using your power, which softens the fear. And if you can't get there yet, that's also okay. I'd like you to imagine in this moment covered in this sticky honey, that any fear you have is beginning to attach to it, attaching to this sticky honey. Sometimes I imagine this as like a black kind of goo that comes out from hiding from the deepest parts of inside of me. So it's now attaching to the honey. It's no longer inside you. As the honey continues to move down you, working with gravity, I want you to imagine that the fear that is attached to the honey is being sent back to the earth, back to source, back to wherever it came. Does serve a purpose in our survival, but the things that we in developed worlds have fear over these days are silly. So we can send the fear of standing in our power, the fear of making a change in our lives, the fear of learning something new, the fear of failure, the fear of success. We can let all of these fears go. Those are not protecting us. They're keeping us small. So the sweet honey, the sticky honey, has these fears, and it's being returned to be repurposed. We don't need them. And this residual sweetness that the honey leaves behind, like the aftertaste, but the aftertaste of your being, will allow you the perspective to shift into any challenge that comes your way. You can see as a little bit sweeter, a little bit softer, instead of approaching challenges almost already defeated, as I do sometimes. You can approach them with the sweetness of this honey, still imagining that you're enveloped in this weighted, warm hug that your fears are attached to, so they're no longer inside of you. They're being sent back to where they came from to be repurposed into something new, different. You're slowing down with the honey so that you can see that you have multiple choices, maybe just 3 to start off with, so that you can stand in your power, so that you can have your power back. So when you are feeling overwhelmed, if you are in the midst of fear, remember that the honey is here for you. The honey softens you. It slows you down. It attaches to your fear. And the residual sweetness helps you to change your perspective and your thought process around the circumstances that you don't have control over. And what the honey does is it gives you control over yourself and your response. It gives you your safety and your power. Taking a deep breath in through your nose, filling yourself all the way up with warm air, and exhaling all the way out. Empty, empty, empty. Empty a little bit more, and then allow the air to flow in. This natural process of breathing. Keeping us alive, grounded, centered, and creating space within our lives. Taking one more deep breath together in through the nose and out of the mouth. When you're ready, you can flutter your eyes open, beginning to make small movements in your body. As you come back into this world, using the 2 eyes to see our external perception of reality. Remembering that you can call back this kind of honey metaphor whenever you want to reconnect you to the space of softening and slowing down, standing in your power. Thank you for showing up today. If you have any questions, comments, or loving suggestions, please feel free to reach out to me. Have a great rest of your day. Much love.